You're listening to the Quint's podcast.
In what may be called as a major setback for the Maharashtra government and its former Home Minister Anil Deshmukh, the Supreme Court on 8th of April dismissed the state government's pleas, challenging the Bombay High Court order directing a CBI probe against him. The probe was ordered by the High Court into allegations of corruption, extortion, and political overreach levelled against Deshmukh by former Mumbai Police Commissioner Param Bir Singh. However, in another twist in the Ambani Bomb scare case, just days after Deshmukh's resignation, a letter written by arrested Assistant Police Inspector Sachin Waze also made similar allegations against him. In the letter, Waze not only accused Deshmukh of pressuring him to extort money from various sources, he also accused Transport Minister Anil Parab and an alleged close aide of Deputy Chief Minister Ajit Pawar of malpractices. The CBI is now conducting a preliminary investigation into the allegations against Deshmukh. However, there still are a lot of questions, the answers to which are still in the grey. Today's guest is former Mumbai Police Commissioner Julio Ribeiro, and in his interview with the Quint, he raised some very important questions for Param Bir Singh, the CBI and the Maharashtra government, which will also be the focus of today's episode. You are tuned in to The Big Story, the podcast where we dissect the headline making news for you, and I am your host, Ishwar. Thank you so much, sir, for joining the Quint and Quint Hindi. My first question to you, sir, is that the CBI inquiry has been ordered by the Bombay High Court against former Home Minister Anil Deshmukh. Would you consider this a moral victory for former Mumbai Police Chief Param Bir Singh in the backdrop of the Ambani Bomb scare case and his subsequent transfer?
Well, it's not a moral victory for Param Bir Singh. I don't know whether he considers it like that, but I think it's a moral victory for the people of Mumbai or the people of Maharashtra, because this relationship between the politicians and senior police officers has to be broken sometime or other. And I think because Param Bir was removed from that post in peak, he has gone public. And I think it's a good thing in a way, because the BJP government at the center and the MVA government here are not on very happy terms, as you know. The senior partner in this government had broken away from the BJP and ditched them at the time soon after the election, which I thought was quite mean of their part, because these things are not done. But I think these things are happening today in politics. People get elected and then they get bought over. That is another thing that I really grieve about. So things are bad as far as politics are concerned. It is not politics as usual. It's a new type of politics. But it has helped the people, because this, this connection between the criminals, the police, and the politician, that has to be broken. And if the police chiefs is not willing to do that on his own, well, after being transferred, if he comes out with it, I'm so happy about it. So that's fine. Let the CBI inquire.
So, while the court was hearing the case on the 31st of March, and especially when it was hearing Param Bir Singh's plea, it made certain observations and criticisms regarding the plea itself or the way in which Param Bir Singh had approached the whole matter. The court's question to Param Bir Singh was, if you knew about these allegations, why did you not file an FIR with the police or any other probe agency before dragging the Home Minister to the courts? What, according to you, sir, were the options before Param Bir Singh
by which he could have pursued it before going to the courts, if you could help our viewers understand that.
Look, at that time when he was informed by Vaze and another gentleman called Patel, who were both inspectors, Vaze was not even a full inspector, but they had been summoned to the minister's house, and they immediately came and told their boss. Well, at that time, he had not been shifted. So he didn't think it necessary to come out with that. So he would not file any FIR. And even if he was shifted, filing of FIR becomes a little difficult because, then you have burnt all your boats. So I don't think that he would do that. He's quite shrewd that way. But he certainly waited till he was shifted, because he was shifted 3 days later on the 20th. And then after that, he came out with this, which is very bold on his part. And of course, because he must have been really angry and upset over this. So I'm not surprised that he did it, but and that he is one in the commissioner who could do it, and he has done it. But now the High Court has said that the CBI is a very independent organization, which I dispute. It used to be, and then after that it became a caged parrot, as the Supreme Court had very clearly mentioned, and we were all, other officers knew that it had become a caged parrot. It has become much more caged now. It is not allowed to move even inside the cage. That is what is happening now in the present, with its present bosses. So whether they will come out with all the facts, I do not know. Because if somebody has to be safeguarded, they'll probably do that. And I'm not sure whether they will come out with total truth. If they will come out against Anil Deshmukh, because he belongs to the opposition. But what about the others who are involved? I'm quite sure that the police officers also who are involved, they should be also exposed. Because the people would want this to be totally neutralized, because otherwise their own safety and security are at stake. And that is what is happening.
My next question, sir, would be, do you think it was easier for Mr. Singh to come out with these allegations after he was transferred? Because 3 days after he was transferred, he first wrote a letter to the Chief Minister mentioning these allegations. And then 2 days later, on Monday, he approached the Supreme Court with the same allegations and demanded a CBI probe. Do you think this is something which was easier for him to do after he was transferred, and that is why he did it after he was transferred? Or, as the state government has alleged, that Singh had a personal vendetta with Deshmukh, and that is why he has done it? What do you think are his reasons?
As far as I can see, the personal vendetta came up later because Anil Deshmukh made a statement after the transfer, which he need not have done, that Mr. Singh had not kept a proper control over Vaze, his assistant. Everybody in the police force at the lower level was very disgruntled because Vaze had got direct access to the police commissioner. And there are 6 or 7 layers between them, but still he had that access, and he would report directly to the commissioner. The very fact that an API was called by the Home Minister, perhaps the Home Minister knew who could manage 100 crores. I mean, that is what everybody in the police seems to feel. Yeah.
Sir, do you think this episode has, even the matter of Sachin Waze's alleged involvement in the Ambani Bomb scare case, the subsequent developments, the allegations by Param Bir Singh, do you think these have obviously tarnished the image of the Mahavikas Aghadi government in the state, but do you think they have severely dented the image of the Mumbai police and the Maharashtra police per se, because Mumbai police is so respected and revered all across? But do you think these episodes and these developments and this political involvement has somehow tarnished the image of the Mumbai police?
Of course it has. There is no doubt about that, and the police knows it. But but I can tell you that the police, ordinary policemen and the officers of the lower rank officers, the inspectors and others, are really good material. Today even the constables are graduates and they don't get jobs, so they come here. But they are people who we could rely on. But it depends on the leadership. Now, if the government, which in its wisdom chooses the leader who is beholden to them and not one who can command the respect of the force, then the government is at fault in choosing such leaders, because every force depends upon its leader. It is as good as its leader. If the
Yeah.
leader is no good, then the force also deteriorates. I remember when I finished my term as police commissioner here and I was to take over as DGP of the Director General of the Central Reserve Police. I attended a lunch just before going to Delhi, where General Dayal, who was involved in the Blue Star operation, he was the chief guest at that lunch. He
Mhm.
was to go. He was to go as Lieutenant Governor of Andamans, and I asked him how good were the CRP which I was going to command, as they had been sent to him also for the Blue Star operation. So he said, "Look, Mr. Ribeiro, there are so many battalions who came to me. The ones
Yeah.
that were commanded well by good commanders, those performed brilliantly. The ones who were not commanded by proper officers, well, they were of no use to me." That is what he said. He said, which means that a force is as good as the people who command it. So this is something that you have to keep in mind when the public has to keep in mind. I'm trying to explain this to them, that look, it all depends on the leader. And why do these politicians choose leaders who they should not have chosen in the first place? You see, there are two. When you choose a leader, particularly in the police, please, or anywhere, you look at his competence, you look at his intelligence, and you look at his integrity. In the police, it's very important. And if you
Yeah.
find that their integrity quotient is below or is not up to the mark, kindly don't bother about the intelligence and the competence also, because if you don't have integrity, you cannot command a force. I am absolutely of that view. And that is what they don't do. And they have to do it. And the people should understand and make them do it, should force them to do it. Yeah.
As you said, sir, integrity.
Yeah.
A lot of questions were raised on Param Bir Singh's integrity because if you see the 1 year term of Param Bir Singh, he took over at a time when the COVID pandemic was just upon us. There were already many challenges in front of the Maharashtra government, which is already a government of three absolutely unusual allies, with Shiv Sena at the helm and Congress and NCP supporting a party like Shiv Sena. The Sushant Singh Rajput episode, the tussle with Kangana Ranaut, the Arnab Goswami cases. So all throughout, the Maharashtra government has firmly stood by Param Bir Singh in most of the controversies, while the opposition, led by the Bharatiya Janata Party, has been targeting on several of these issues. After these allegations came out, it was being said that Param Bir Singh has eventually played both sides, and after his transfer, he went ahead leveling these allegations because he was absolutely disgruntled by the way he was shunted. Do you think there is any truth to this theory or these claims made by people?
See, I don't want to say anything about anybody's integrity because it's not correct for me to make such statements, especially on television. But I would like some questions to be asked. If the CBI is taking over this inquiry, could they please make the following questions put to Mr. Param Bir Singh? I want to know, because how did Sachin Waze get reinstated after 13 years under suspension? I mean, everybody knows about Sachin Waze and everybody knows about his his assets and things like that. How was it that he was reinstated? That is the first question we would like to know. If the politicians are involved, then he should please come out with it, because he is the one who issued the order, and he is the one who was who had gone through the file and recommended it. Absolutely. Then why was he posted in the crime branch straight away instead of the reason given for his reinstatement was because of COVID? Was he put on any COVID-related duties? In that, why not? Because if you said that he was required for COVID duty, then also, why was he given independent charge of the crime intelligence unit? It is always held by a senior inspector. The people below who were there, the officers were very disgruntled about that. Why was he given that charge? And why was he allowed to report directly to the commissioner himself instead of his hierarchical superiors? There was four layers between him and the head of the crime branch. Why were they all ignored? I mean, these are things that have to be asked. And you know, it's all right for him to bring out Anil Deshmukh's because about that is fine. I think that also should be inquired into. I'm in favor. But what about this? But please tell us that, because people would like to know. And there are more tricky questions to answer. Then, did he know of the plan to plant a car, SUV with gelatin sticks and a threat letter outside the Ambani house? Did he know it or not? Because this man is to report, Vaze is to report directly to him. I don't think that Vaze could make such a plan on his own. Yeah, I refuse to believe that. So then, did he know it? And then he should tell us what was the motive, what was the reason why this was done, and did he know that Vaze, who was operating from his office in the compound of the police commissioner, was coming every day in a different swank car, and had a Mercedes which he normally came and went by? I mean, does a junior officer come in a Mercedes which even a commissioner or above a commissioner won't use? You tell me, did he know it? I mean, this was a very arrogant thing for a junior officer to do of the rank of an API. And if that's so, did he pull him up? Did he ask him why, where he got these cars from? I mean, I really don't know how this force is being led and being this. How could a man who is of an API rank, is an assistant police inspector, just above a sub-inspector, and then he comes in a Mercedes every day. He boasts about so many cars. He has a room in a 5-star hotel where he is booked and under a different name. Everybody others knew about it. You mean Param Bir, who is his boss and who is in direct contact with him, did not know? I mean, I'm really shocked. I'm shocked. I mean, I don't know of any other commissioner who had a problem like this. I don't know.
The opposition has made a...
Yeah, but these questions should be asked by the CBI. And if they don't ask, we should ask them why they didn't ask it. Yeah.
Sure. The opposition, sir, as you said, has been raising similar questions. Like, there are many questions that need to be answered here. And one of the comments that the opposition is making is that if this thing goes to probe by the CBI, a lot of skeletons in the closet are going to come out, not just in terms of some senior officers in the force, but also the political connections that they had and their alleged involvement. When politics gets involved, what do you think, sir, is the message for future police chiefs, not just for Mumbai, but anywhere across the country? Because for a city like Mumbai, what according to you is the message or the lesson that future police chiefs coming and commanding the force need to take from this entire episode involving Sachin Waze and Param Bir Singh?
You see, there are two dimensions now of the police chiefs' involvement with politicians. One is those who are involved because of corruption, because of money matters. So that is going on for quite some time, and there are always some black sheep who get involved like that. The politicians know exactly who does what. I mean, I don't think that they do not know. They know, and they will use those people in their time. So if this finally ends up in a real exposure of all these things, then I think it might have some effect. But at least the people have to be always careful, have to be alert to see that this doesn't happen again. Of course, there are many, nowadays there is also, this is a new trend where officers get involved on the basis of ideology. That never happened earlier. I don't know whether it happened in West Bengal because there was another ideological, a party based on ideology was in power for many years. I'm talking about the communists. But now the BJP at the center, I mean, they are also a party based on ideology, and many officers are sort of supporting for their own advancement, or because they might be also believing in it. A few of them might be believing, but mostly for their own advancement. So these are things that happen in life, and they should not happen. In fact, I didn't have any such experience till I returned from Romania. I returned in 93, end of 94, beginning. And I came to know that these are the things that are happening. I had been out of Bombay for 10 years. And I was sorry to hear that the force has got deteriorated. Force is bound to deteriorate. If it happens like that, the force is bound to deteriorate. So I'm sorry for the force because it's a good force. The people are good. The material is good. It has to be properly led. And the person at the top should. We had very good officers earlier. Even now, after I've come back from Romania, I've seen such good officers occupying the CP's chair. And they ran it, and they were quite clear in their mind that they are not going to get involved in politics or in money or things like that. And then the politician left them alone. I don't think they asked them, please collect money for us. They didn't ask them to support them for any other thing. They know whom to go to. You see, the politicians are very, very, they are savvy. They will use whatever that to remain in power. That is their job. They want to be in power. And if they use officers like that, but there are officers who will not do that. Even today, there are very good officers in our Maharashtra card. I'll give you their names. I mean, I can't do it on TV. But I can certainly, I know them. I can give it to the government. Why don't they use them? And then some of them, in between have even left because they find that there's no scope for them with people for being such good people. So if they want bad people, then they have bad people. If they want good people, there are many of them. Why not take them? At least the public will gain, because the public is interested in their own safety, their security. Why should they not have it? They should demand it. It is their right. And the police officers are servants of the people. They are not there to feather their own nest. They are not there for that. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir, for speaking to the Quint and Quint Hindi. It was really, really insightful. And I am really, really honored to have gotten this opportunity to speaking to somebody so senior and so experienced and such an amazing human being like you. Thank you so much for taking out the time, sir.
If you liked listening to this episode, please subscribe to The Big Story for episodic updates. We're available on Apple, Google Podcasts, Spotify, JioSaavn, and most of the other popular podcast streaming platforms. For other podcasts, please log on to the Quint website, and for any feedback, please shoot an email to podcast@thequint.com.
Thanks for listening. Log on to the Quint website and check out our other podcasts.